Let's get into phase 2, y'all.
All right.
Iron Man 3.
Things get rocky here, I feel like.
Where Guy Pearce is the villain?
Yes. This is a little boy who shows up in the funeral later on that we forgot all about. And
I didn't forget about him.
I forgot all about that kid. I was like, who the hell is at the funeral?
I looked at him and I was like, who is this?
Whose man's is this? Whose man's is this? So how you feel about Iron Man 3?
I mean, it's just him getting over his or not getting over, but dealing with his PTSD and dying and kind of letting himself die, and all the Iron Man suits were pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe give it a C.
I kind of give it a C.
I think we're on the same boat here.
It was okay. It wasn't really impressive. The villain was just kind of like, hey, actually, Loki, I'm not actually a villain. So
just like, we did this in the first movie. You were kind of like cool with us, but then you're actually the villain. It's just like,
it's giving villain of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, felt extremely, and I will always be upset for their portrayal because they course corrected the hell out of that Mandarin portrayal.
Oh yeah,
because we gotta also stop
disrespectful
because people will always act like Marvel has always had this great plan down the way. No, bro, they really was praying to God they get another movie or get another phase, right? So they didn't know that they was gonna come out with Shang-Chi later on. So whatever they did, that shit what they did in the Mandarin, I was like, that's corny.
Mm-hmm.
Fixed it. Still was corny to me. It was a waste, so it made me upset. So that's why I gave it a C.
Okay.
All right, so Iron Man 3C, perfect.
Valid. Thor: The Dark World.
You know, villain is Christopher Eccleston in this one, where he plays the Dark Elf, right? That's what they're called. And they're going after the Ether, which turns out to be one of the Infinity Stones. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give that a C, maybe even a D, actually.
It's a D tier movie.
Yeah,
if there was F on this, I would give it an F, but we don't have an F.
I generally don't even remember it.
And that's why.
Like,
you know.
You give it an R tier. Don't remember.
They spent a little too much time, like, just Natalie Portman and Kate Dennings' character.
Kat Dennings.
Kat Dennings, yeah, like doing the whole portals thing, and then like nothing really amounted to anything. It just pushed the plot forward.
Was there anything memorable?
It's really just there to place the ether. Just the other stuff, which just wasn't interesting enough. And I get that.
Yeah.
From what I know, the person was trying to go with like a Shakespearean type of like storytelling of it, and it's just so. Whatever. It's just whatever. It's just there. Like it's not wasting my. Honestly, it did feel like a waste of my time. Could
have been a mini series.
Yeah, you could actually
3 episodes.
I'm pretty sure there's people who have not seen Thor 2 and have been perfectly fine.
Yep.
No one's happy.
Nothing worth missing.
So I'm giving it a D.
It's our first D. What about you?
Yeah.
I think it's a D by default.
Yeah. D by default.
I'm a rapper.
Period.
I'm a rapper.
Next up, Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
I'm gonna give it an A for sure.
This is my first A.
This is
my first A. This is actually when I started thinking that the MCU had something there. For a long time, I went through the MCU movies, kind of just been like, they're cool.
Even with the Avengers, really,
I still was like great to watch. I just was like the story. I'm still gonna look. I was already watching anime and manga. Like I already knew like what a really super good story was. I wasn't about to be easily sold by just getting comic book movies. I was like, you gotta spit some shit. And I think Winter Soldier is the first time I think out of all these movies that they really dropped some fucking.
No, you're right.
They did some shit here.
S tier, guys.
What they did with Winter Soldier, bringing back Bucky, and like
the way they did it, the way they executed, the look I'll never forget of just Winter Soldier and Captain America. Just Bucky. Who the hell is Bucky?
Yeah.
Like, that was iconic. Oh my god, when I tell you when that movie came out, Tumblr was exploding. Bruh, it was great. Fantastic.
Bucky Barnes as Winter Soldier, like Scott, whatever his name is, Scott something.
Sebastian Stan.
Stan, yeah, that's it.
You watch your tongue, sir. You don't talk about Sebastian Stan that way. You better know his name next time.
Period.
I know. I should have known from Gossip Girl.
Is he in Gossip Girl?
Yeah.
Oh, I know his character.
Here we go.
I never seen Gossip Girl. No.
Gag.
Sorry, this podcast is a turn. You've never watched Gossip Girl?
I know.
Like,
don't watch the HBO one. We're not talking about the HBO one.
It's actually not that bad.
I heard it's not that bad.
You know what?
The second season I heard is trash and it ruins it. The first season,
bro,
it's not.
The teachers are Gossip Girl. That's lame.
That's real life. Our friends are teachers in real life.
You're right.
You know what?
I don't know how many people I know that go teach. I'm like, bro, I was just taking shots with you, my G. What do you mean?
Okay. Maybe I shouldn't say it.
I was like, oh, you about to ask somebody out? Actually, you know what?
Yeah. Okay. Do not judge me. Anyways, So I was in a strip club for a birthday party, and one of the strippers, turns out he was a third grade teacher.
Interesting.
Teachers have their own things that they deal with. You know, you gotta make
human too.
You gotta make money. He was like, I'm here doing my thing on the weekends. You know,
That's what made Gossip Girl so believable because they were all our age in that show. The teachers in that show were all our age.
Understand?
Like, obviously, our age.
I wouldn't be telling anybody if I was a teacher because, like, God forbid anybody like rats you out and you lose your job.
No, because they had a rule like you have to ask them if they're allowed to take pictures with them, of them, or videos or anything. And so he was like, no, and he's like, oh, why not? It's like, I'm a third grade teacher, and I was like, this is hysterical, and also
you gotta be a real menace to be like, well, I still want to ruin your life.
Yeah,
some people would.
You already in the strip club.
People
like, how much you want to? My man's already giving you everything else. Like, how much more? How much more you want? What do you want? What do you want?
All right, we got a little off track.
back.
All right, yeah, Winter Soldier. Unfortunately, because of my Captain America bias, it's an A, not an S.
S-tier.
The action in that movie, the choreography was great.
Fantastic.
Great story, great character development. Love it.
Yes.
Great sequel, honestly.
So,
Yes.
So what'd you give it?
A.
S.
S. All right.
You gave it an S?
S. Great movie all around. Literally,
it's
me and my friends have been screaming about. You said it's the pegs.
It's the
It's the Sebastian
It's always
Stan
the Pegs.
and the Chris Evans pegs.
You know what? We'll take it. It's fine.
It's fine. It's all right. So Guardians of the Galaxy 2014. First
Yo,
one.
this one was it. This is a good movie. Like
is.
I remember watching it, downloaded the soundtrack that
Absolutely.
night.
Yeah.
I've never listened to a full fun soundtrack like that, like for a movie before until that one.
I was humbled because when they said that this movie was coming out, and I was like, the Guardians of the Galaxy, we talking about the detail of like character
for sure.
references in Marvel. I was like, I was
Grasping at
I was like,
straws.
I'll wait. I was like, especially because back then, like AMC A-list didn't exist, so going in the movie theater, it was a chore. Like it was not a chore, but like it ain't cheap. It still ain't cheap. It ain't never. I don't know. Last time it was cheap. Honestly.
Never been more expensive.
Cheap Tuesdays.
Yeah, you got, but then you have to go on a Tuesday, and it's like,
But it's always gonna be busy because everyone's going.
everybody's going on a Tuesday, right? Guardians was a pleasant surprise.
Yes.
Like
It was refreshing. It was a breath of fresh air.
It was fun.
great characters. Really, it felt like kind of almost what the first Avengers could have been because
Yes.
they had the setup to do it, but it felt like a better executed version of the first Avengers movie.
They had more leeway. They had more leeway. No one knew these characters. Like you said, they were D-tier characters, and they really turned them into something that people enjoyed to see, people liked, and made it into so much more. And like that soundtrack, okay, it might just be me, but I, as a, Hispanic household, I never listened to
Got the other side of the hand as a Hispanic household.
This can't be our thing.
As a Hispanic
We're
household,
about 4 or 5 episodes after you did that, you're still here, man.
Absolutely, never letting this go. I never listened to a lot of these '80s sounds, so like everyone was like, "Oh, you never heard this?" I was like, "No." So it really like exposed me to like that, fun culture.
So what'd you give the movie overall then?
I think it's a solid A. Very fun.
for sure.
I think it's if I could give it in between A and B, I would, but I'm just gonna go A. I'll give it an A.
It did a really good job world building and expanding the literal universe, and it was just a lot of fun with the space adventures, the colors, everything pops.
I remember exactly where I was listening to the soundtrack for the first time. I was in an alley waiting for.
Yo, what?
Listen, let me finish my sentence. I was in an alley waiting to get New York Comic-Con tickets back when you had to sit and wait for them in the store. So I stayed overnight in a Brooklyn alley with a bunch of friends and thousands of people. But we started playing the Guardians of the Galaxy playlist there, and I was like, "This is cool."
Everyone was like, "Bump it up!"
Are we gonna have to like get her like an extra room somewhere in Brooklyn because at this point,
you're
bro,
always in Brooklyn.
This was back in the day. This was the only place.
Yeah, but
Midtown
you still
Comics
here.
was.
Still here.
You still
I
here.
know.
We saw like what you doing. I'm like, yo, you always here. I feel like you here more than me, and I live here.
Oh my god.
This shit's kind of crazy. So.
Well, if it wasn't so expensive, I'd be here.
We gotta find a little a brownstone. Somebody just rent out one.
Right, humble abode. Let's go.
If anybody's want to give her a brownstone floor, hit her up. But
Send us a DM.
It has to be less than $1,500.
Yeah, for real.
Good.
All right, next one. What do we got on the list?
Age of Ultron.
Yikes. So, we bring in Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. That's cool.
Not my Ultron. Hated it. No strings on me. It's a C.
I agree. The way that they did Quicksilver so dirty, I will never let that go.
Right.
The way that I screamed in that theater, I will never
It
forget.
was pretty lame.
Because as someone who grew up watching, the X-Men evolution and all that stuff. You see Scarlet Witch, you see, it was such a good show. You see all of these characters and you grow an attachment to them. And literally from just watching him immediately die, I was like, you are literally supposed to be faster than a bullet. What are you doing? And you caught 6?
Get up.
That's the problem with speed things. Like I think in all properties, whether it be the Flash, this Quicksilver, another Quicksilver, you always think it's like, I feel like you should technically not be able to get hit by this, but fine, I'll suspend.
That's why the other Marvel, like First Class, did a fantastic job.
That's such a good movie.
That was fantastic.
I love First Class.
God.
Michael Fassbender.
It's not on this list, but
I think one day we will do another video getting into those five.
All the X-Men movies. Yeah.
But they were great. They did a great job. Said that Quicksilver was fantastic.
Yeah.
But this one, trash. Which kills me because Aaron Taylor Johnson was he's
really good in kicking ass as well. That's what,
isn't he coming back?
He's playing Craven.
Craven.
Spider-Man stuff. Which, like,
yes, there we go. So we're bringing him back to the MCU.
Yeah.
Well, it's not MCU. We don't know.
Is it?
That's anything
Craven?
Sony.
Oh, it's the Venom style, right?
That's
Sony.
That. Whatever people own, listen, Hollywood strike is all that stuff. Listen, Hollywood Studios, we don't know who owns what, but anything that's in that Spider-Man universe usually is not MCU.
Yes.
So Sony still owns the rights to it.
Yes.
So yeah.
But he looks beautiful, and we're glad to have him.
And Ultron just sucks. Ultron is just too much like Tony Stark.
Yeah.
It's like
they forced
it's too funny. I was like, bro, I want you to be menacing. You're supposed to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
See,
they forced the whole Hulk and Black Widow thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was terrible.
Out of nowhere.
Yo.
Terrible.
Sun's getting real low.
I wanted to punch the screen.
Sun's getting real low. Sun's getting real low. What, bro?
Listen, as someone who literally read the comics, I know she was either supposed to be with Hawkeye or freaking Bucky Barnes, and there was no in between. So bringing out Hulk out of nowhere,
to humanize him.
No,
I don't know what
they took away his wife. Why did they take away his wife? I don't understand. What are you doing? Literally, I remember screaming at the skeets that there was no reason for this out of nowhere.
Right, so it's a C tier.
Bye.
C's across the board.
Yes.
Last one in phase 2.
Ant-Man.
B.
I think Ant-Man's a B tier movie. I think it's low level fun. Low
It knew what it was.
It knew what it was.
Yeah.
It was a heist movie. It was something different in the programming.
Paul
in the
Rudd
beginning.
understood the assignment.
T.I.'s in it. Like Baba Yaga jokes.
T.I., yeah.
The Wasp thing, not the Wasp thing, the Yellow Jacket thing. Okay, copy and paste. We've seen that formula in the MCU before of copy and pasting the hero's powers, and that's what that is. But I think the dude, what is the guy's name who would tell the stories?
The Hispanic guy, yeah. I love
such a good job.
I want to say Luke
I don't get tired of those.
I know, I love him.
I don't get tired of those, bro. I was like, where's my guy?
I can't remember his name.
He wasn't in Quantum Mania?
No.
Yo, that's
why
he's in it, but like they don't give him they don't get
real
to do
time
his thing.
Oh,
they don't get to do the story.
Bullshit.
They didn't give him 2 minutes? Alright, you know what? For that,
B's across the board.
Yeah, I think we all got B's. It's fun. We enjoy it. It's not egregious. It's not a waste of time like Thor.